It's tournament time for some fall sports. As those seasons wind down, and Missouri Valley gets set for the start of a different season, one that does not have anything to do with sports. Welcome to KMVC News. I'm Luis Palomino. Missouri Valley and the Saline County Health Department partnered for a clinic to vaccinate against flu and COVID-19. KMVC's Carol Carbo reports how students and community members were invited to Malcolm Gym to get prepared for falling temperatures, more time in confined areas, and the start of a flu season.
As colder weather sets in and students bundle up, flu season becomes harder to avoid. On Tuesday, October 28, Missouri Valley College and the Saline County Health Department brought flu and COVID vaccines directly to Market Gym.
We vaccinated thousands of people through the Malcolm Center, and it just worked so well that we just kind of kept that partnership, even as the pandemic waned a little bit.
The clinic offers students a fast and simple way to stay healthy this winter. According to health workers, vaccines can play a significant role in preventing outbreaks on a campus where students live, study, and train in close quarters.
And especially, when you're in a setting like a college, everybody's very close together, and they live in the dorms, and they're in classrooms together, and they're shut up over the winter, and it's a perfect way to get the flu or to share COVID and those kind of things.
According to students who visit the clinic on Tuesday, October 28th, it was a fast experience, and health officials are encouraging everyone who visits the clinic to visit the health department to learn how to access upcoming vaccine dates. Carol Carbon, KMVC News.
Flu season in Missouri begins in October and lasts through May, but the peak dates are upcoming, from December through March. The women's soccer coach at Missouri Valley hit an important milestone in his career. Head coach Drew Hawkins reached his 200th career win against Mount Mercy. Coach Drew Hawkins has led the Missouri Valley women's team for over a decade. His recent 200th win marks a journey that showed growth, leadership, and dedication. That has turned the program into one of the most respected in the nation.
It's definitely an important milestone. I mean, it's more, in my opinion, shows the quality of players and the assistant coaches and everybody that's been involved with for the last 18 years.
Hawkins also highlights the important role of his assistant coaches and how their work has helped the program's success.
I'm the kind of coach that is going to give them a lot of opportunity to do things and actually feel like, give them some real involvement and give them some real opportunity, because that's important. And they've made a huge impact, obviously, in the wins that we've had.
Coach Hawkins reminds on how the program has grown through the years, and he credits the early teams for building the basis of today's success.
When we started the program, we had maybe like 15, 14 players, and so to now, to be number 4 in the nation, obviously kind of a well-known NEI women's soccer program, it's different.
He also talks about actual season expectations and how the goals change as the season developed.
Every year, our expectation as a team is to win the conference, and unfortunately, even though we had a great year, we fell short by 2 points, and so that was disappointing to the team, but I think our next goal is to win the conference tournament.
Hawkins is a 2006 alumnus of Missouri Valley and played for Valley's men's head soccer coach Vladimir Simic. Simic and Hawkins have more than 500 combined victories for Missouri Valley soccer. Hawkins and the Missouri Valley women's soccer team could clinch the 2 seed in the Heart of America Athletic Conference tournament with a win or tie against Baker Wildcats. Central Methodist clinched the regular season title on October 29th, but the 2 seed nets the Vikings home field advantage through the semifinals. Entering the regular season finale, Missouri Valley had not surrendered a shot in more than 175 minutes. Missouri Valley's Carla Carmona scored her first goal of the season on a penalty kick in the opening minutes to give Valley the lead. Baker's first shot came into the 18th minute, ending a span of more than 192 minutes between shots. And the Wildcats' second shot of the game found the net to square the match at 1. Marlene Flores hit the crossbar with her chance in the 48th minute, but Ashley Arribas was there for the rebound and for the Vikings to retake the lead. Valley pushed the advantage to 2 when Flores scored 4 minutes later. Baker scored a second goal, but Arribas scored her second on a pass from Deja White. Arribas' 2 goals gives her 11 on the year. Baker kept it close, but Fabiana Vasquez scored on a free kick, and the Vikings clinched the 2 seed in the Hart Conference tournament. with a 5-3 win and finish undefeated in the regular season. They'll host the 7th-seeded Missouri Baptist on the 5th. The Vikings beat the Spartans 3-0 on October 28th. Kickoff is set for 7 on the Viking Sports Network. By the time the men's soccer match against Baker began, Missouri Valley knew it would be either the 6th seed with a win or the 7th seed in the hard postseason tournament, because of that draw between William Woods and Benedictine. Baker had a path to the regular season conference title with a win and a Grandview loss to William Penn. Baker held a 1-0 lead at the half, and that's when the Grandview-William Penn game went final. Baker added a second goal late in the second half and tops Missouri Valley 2-0 to win its first regular season conference title since 2017 and captures the 1 seed for the tournament. Valley ends up number 7 and plays on the road against Mid-America Nazarene on November 4th. The Pioneers beat the Vikings 4-0 back on October 15th. After closing October with a pair of losses to the teams near the bottom of the South Division standings in the Heart, Missouri Valley opened November with a game against a team not only at the top of the standings in the Heart, but near the top of the national ranks in the NAIA. Number 3, Benedictine, led 28-0 after the first and 49-0 at the halftime. The Ravens blocked a punt, returning it for a touchdown, and forced a fumble inside Viking territory, setting up another score. Even with those, Benedictine's offense outgained Missouri Valley's by more than 400 yards. It's a 66-7 final score. That's the most points Benedictine has scored against Missouri Valley in the history of the series. The Vikings had just 6 first downs. 2 games remain on the schedule: at home for Senior Day against Mid-America Nazarene on the 8th and on the road against Central Methodist on the 15th. The Missouri Valley women's volleyball was trying to close its season on a positive note, taking on the Peru State Bobcats on Halloween night. But after winning the first set, there were not any more treats for the Vikings. The Bobcats' kill percentage in the second and third sets were better than 30, while the Vikings' best in those same sets was 18. Peru State finished the night with 7 service errors, but 5 of those were in the first set. Peru wins 23-25, 25-22, 25-23, and 25-20. Missouri Valley ends its season as losers of its last 3, and with a 6-12 record in the Heart and a 13-16 mark overall. The Missouri Valley powerlifting teams won titles in Liberty, Missouri, and set a record for the number of lifters that have qualified for the Nationals next year. Valley won the women's skip division and the men's raw division, and 8 more powerlifters qualified to Nationals. That brings the total number of national qualifiers to 21, breaking the previous high of 16 in 2021. Nationals are in April. Basketball in the Heart of America Athletic Conference is similar in structure to women's volleyball in that the league's 15 teams are broken into 3 pots for scheduling. Missouri Valley's pot includes Central Methodist, William Woods, Missouri Baptist, and Culver-Stockton. The Vikings play each of those teams at home and on the road. They will also play one of the Iowa pot teams and one of the Tri-State pot teams twice. The rest of the teams in the other pots are played once a total of 20 conference games, giving teams up to 6 non-conference games. The Vikings were looking for their second win against their second non-league opponent on the first game against Avila. The score was tied at 36 at the half, but the Vikings shot 34% from the field and 29% from the 3 on the night. Antoine Farrell had 24 points, and Davenport scored 20, but that was 44 out of Valley's 70 points on the night. Avila wasn't much better, shooting 40%, but the Eagles beat the Vikings 77-70 and give Valley its first loss on the year. The Vikings play Hannibal LaGrange on the 4th in the Burns Center. The game is on the Viking Sports Network. The Missouri Valley women's basketball season is about to tip off, and KMVC's Daya White reports how women's basketball head coach Ben Leeser and his team are tipping off of a new era this season after a historical season in Viking hoops.
Last season, Lister and his team finished conference play 18-6 and 22 wins overall. This marks the most wins in program history since the 1994-1995 season. Lister says last year was the cornerstone to build the program despite losing some impact players.
Obviously, we graduated 4 seniors that started for us and played a lot of minutes, so anytime you're a good program, you have players behind them you think are capable, they just got to step into their roles and continue to move the program forward.
Lister says this season is about seeing what players step up. With new players filling key roles, he's looking for strong leadership from his captains this year. Sarah Ortiz is one of those captains, and she says the team is looking forward to building off of last season.
I think we're looking to see what things we didn't do right last year, build off of that, win the conference for sure, and see if we can make the national tournament.
Ortiz says energy is the biggest thing for the Vikings this year.
So maybe if we are not having the best day or are not feeling good, you know for sure that you are going to have somebody on the sideline that is cheering up for you.
While there are some returners, 8 new faces are added to the roster. Jessica Reeder was brought in from a junior college and says she came here knowing the Vikings' winning reputation and accomplishments in their last season.
They were 1 game away from going to the national tournament, which really shows that they're a well-performed team. I look forward to playing under Coach Lister, a new coach, and going to chase banners.
Lister says even though the group of players has changed, the goals have not. He says the goals are to lead the conference in team GPA and hang banners at the end of the year by building off of last year's historical season. Deja White, KMVC News.
Vikings open up their season against Hannibal Grange on November 4th at 5:30. That's the day KMVC News is recorded. The game is available on the Vikings Sports Network. Glowing eyes, crooked smiles, and clever designs, all part of that pumpkin carving and painting to get students into the Halloween spirit. Students gather in the Malcolm Center multipurpose room to show off their creativity and carving skills. The first 25 students got a pumpkin, or students could bring their own. Student activities fill the tables, providing all the materials needed for students to just show up and get creative. Some students got messy while some kept it simple. Students created everything from funny, cute designs to spooky ones. Chatter, laughs, and music kept the spirit up in the room for the festive night. It was a spooky and sweet night on Marshall Square. Families celebrated Halloween in a fun and safe way. The square turned into a Halloween world as families filled the area for the expected trick-or-treat evening hosted by the Marshall Chamber of Commerce. Local businesses and banks handed out candy to hundreds of kids who gathered up at the square. Superheroes, dinosaurs, and princesses were some of the most common costumes. Parents were full of smiles, enjoying the annual event showcasing Halloween spirit. No tricks, the next installment of KMVC News is set for November 11th. Thanks for watching. I'm Luis Palomino, and this is KMVC News.